The United States has long been dominated by two major political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. These two parties have been at the forefront of American politics for over a century, shaping the nation's policies and influencing its direction. These parties have shaped the nation's history and continue to define its present. From the New Deal to the Reagan Revolution, the Democrats and Republicans have left indelible marks on the American political landscape. Understanding their evolution is crucial to grasping the complexities of American politics. The debates, the campaigns, and the policies all stem from the foundational principles of these two parties. From their origins to their current platforms, the Democrats and Republicans offer competing visions for the country's future. The Democrats often emphasize social equality and government intervention, while the Republicans advocate for limited government and free market principles. Throughout the nation's history, these parties have served as vehicles for diverse interests and ideologies. They have been the battlegrounds for various social movements, economic theories, and political philosophies. They have adapted to changing social norms, economic realities, and global dynamics. As society evolves, so do the platforms and policies of these parties, reflecting the shifting priorities of the American people. The story of the Democrats and Republicans is one of transformation, rivalry, and an enduring struggle for the soul of America. Their ongoing competition continues to shape the nation's identity and its future, making the understanding of their history and evolution essential for any student of American politics. The roots of the Democratic Party can be traced back to Thomas Jefferson and the Democratic-Republican Party. Formed in opposition to the Federalist Party of Alexander Hamilton, the Democratic Republicans championed states' rights, limited government, and the interests of farmers and laborers. They opposed a strong central government and favored an agrarian society. Jefferson's vision emphasized individual liberty and democratic principles. The Democratic Republicans believed in a government that was responsive to the will of the people. They were wary of concentrated power and sought to protect the rights of the common man. The mid-19th century witnessed the tumultuous issue of slavery tearing the nation apart. Out of this turmoil emerged the Republican Party, founded in 1854. The Republicans were united in their opposition to the expansion of slavery into new territories. They drew support from abolitionists, anti-slavery Whigs, and some disgruntled Democrats. The Republican Party quickly rose to prominence with the election of Abraham Lincoln as president in 1860. Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his commitment to abolishing slavery solidified the Republican Party's image as the party of freedom and equal rights. The aftermath of the Civil War brought significant realignments in American politics. The Republican Party, associated with the Union victory and Reconstruction, became dominant in the North and West. The Democratic Party, largely confined to the South, faced the challenge of rebuilding after the Confederacy's defeat. During this period, the Republican Party embraced industrialization and economic growth. The Democrats, meanwhile, struggled to find a unified identity. They appealed to a diverse coalition of Southern whites, immigrants, and working-class voters. Section 5. The New Deal and the Rise of Modern Liberalism. The Great Depression of the 1930s marked a significant turning point in American political history. The economic collapse left millions of Americans unemployed and desperate, creating an urgent need for government intervention. The Democratic Party, under the visionary leadership of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, responded to the crisis with a bold and unprecedented series of initiatives known as the New Deal. Roosevelt's charismatic leadership and innovative policies aimed to provide immediate relief, recovery, and reform to a nation in distress. This series of programs and reforms dramatically expanded the role of the federal government in American life. Programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps and the Works Progress Administration provided jobs and infrastructure improvements, while others focused on financial reforms and Social Security. The New Deal ushered in an era of modern liberalism, with the Democratic Party advocating for government intervention in the economy, social welfare programs, and labor rights. This period saw the establishment of Social Security, unemployment insurance, and various labor protections that fundamentally changed the relationship between the government and its citizens. The Republican Party, while initially divided on how to respond to the New Deal, gradually coalesced around a philosophy of limited government and individual responsibility. This ideological divide between the two major parties set the stage for future political debates and continues to influence American politics to this day. Section 6. The Republican Resurgence, Conservatism from Nixon to Reagan. This period marked a significant shift in American politics, characterized by a return to conservative values and a focus on traditional American ideals. The decades following World War II witnessed a gradual resurgence of the Republican Party. The post-war era saw a booming economy and the rise of suburban life, which created a fertile ground for conservative ideas to flourish. Fueled by anxieties over the Cold War, economic challenges, and social changes, a new wave of conservatism began to take hold. The fear of communism, coupled with economic instability and the rapid social changes of the 1960s, led many Americans to seek stability in conservative principles. Figures like Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan capitalized on these sentiments. Nixon's political acumen and Reagan's charismatic appeal helped them connect with voters who felt alienated by the liberal policies of the time. Nixon's Southern strategy appealed to white voters in the South who were disillusioned with the Democratic Party's support for civil rights. This strategy was instrumental in shifting the political landscape, as it brought a significant number of Southern voters into the Republican fold. Reagan's charismatic leadership and his message of lower taxes, smaller government, and traditional values resonated with a broad swath of Americans. His ability to communicate complex ideas in a simple and relatable manner made him a beloved figure, and his policies laid the groundwork for the conservative movement that would dominate American politics for decades to come. Section 7. The Culture Wars and the Polarization of American Politics. The late 20th and early 21st centuries saw a marked intensification of the culture wars in American politics. Issues such as abortion, gun control, gay rights, and immigration became increasingly divisive, contributing to a growing polarization between the two parties. The Republican Party became more closely aligned with social conservatives and evangelical Christians. The Democratic Party, meanwhile, embraced a more progressive agenda on social issues, championing LGBTQ+ rights, environmental protection, and multiculturalism. Section 8. The Parties Today, Platforms and Divisions. In the contemporary political landscape, the Democratic and Republican parties remain sharply divided on a wide range of issues. Democrats generally support a larger role for government in addressing social and economic inequality. They advocate for universal health care, affordable education, and stronger environmental regulations. Republicans, on the other hand, emphasize individual liberty, free markets, and limited government intervention. They favor tax cuts, deregulation, and a strong national defense. The parties also hold contrasting views on issues such as immigration, gun control, and foreign policy. Section 9. The future of the two-party system. The future of the two-party system in the United States remains uncertain. The rise of political polarization, the influence of money in politics, and the emergence of third-party movements pose challenges to the dominance of the Democrats and Republicans. Whether the two-party system can adapt to these challenges and continue to effectively represent the diversity of American views remains to be seen. One thing is certain: the evolution of the Democratic and Republican parties is far from over.